we're going to look at now at the kneecap. And that is where a lot of the emails that I get, a lot of the people that I work with, a lot of the people that I have worked with have issues with their kneecap. And the kneecap is actually a free-floating bone. And I kind of visualize it like a piece of ice on water, that it'll slide back and forth, it'll slide side to side, it'll rotate, and it can go on the diagonals. So if you're looking at a compass, it can go north-south, east-west, northeast, southwest, southeast, northwest. If I screwed that up, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Okay, so what we're going to do is when the knee, especially, here's an indication, is when you fall and you smack your knee, you smack your kneecap. The kneecap will hold on to that tension. That kneecap will hold to protect itself. So all we need to do is figure out the direction that the kneecap is holding tension and hold it in that position of comfort. So, first of all, you can take the kneecap and push this gently. Sometimes it freaks people out a little bit because the kneecap does move quite freely, as long as you're not tightening up your leg. So, what you're going to do is you'll take your fingers, your thumb and your index finger, and you'll push the kneecap towards the outside. And then you'll push it towards the inside. And you can see that the kneecap goes inside a lot easier than it does on the outside. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the kneecap in, and then I'm going to compress down. And what happens is that's taking it in the tension pattern that it's holding on to. That is pushing the fingers together in the Chinese finger game. Now remember I was saying the nervous system will give you an indication that something has changed. As I began to push on this kneecap, I'm feeling tingling in the other leg. Just to give you an idea, it's always going to be different. And it's always fascinating to see what your body has to show you in terms of the tension that it's holding on to. So now you can see that the kneecap pushes easier to the outside, and it doesn't go quite as far inside. Okay? So that is side to side. The next, we're going to push it down, and then we're going to push it up. Now, of course, if any of these directions hurt, you do the opposite. So if I pushed it down and it caused me discomfort in any way, if it was tight or tender or whatever it was, then I would come up. I would bring it up. And I'm going to push the kneecap up and then compress down. And once again, I'll wait for a period of 30 seconds or until my nervous system gives an indication. And there's a yawn. So excuse me. However, that's my nervous system telling me that it's letting go of the tension. So now I'm going to take the kneecap down again, and it's moving easier. The next is on the diagonals. I can push it down towards my left ankle and up towards my right hip, and down towards my left ankle provides a little bit more resistance, so it's tighter. If it hurt that way, then I would definitely go up towards my right hip. So I'll slide the kneecap up towards my right hip and then compress on that. So I'm compressing down towards my knee and at the same time pushing up towards my left hip. So it's kind of at an angle that I'm doing it. Waiting for the period of 30 seconds or longer, or until my nervous system gives me an indication that something has changed. And now as I try it, I don't feel so much resistance going down towards the left ankle. And I would do the same on the diagonal for the other direction. And it's more difficult going up towards my left hip. It's easier going down towards my right ankle. So I take it in there and then compress. And once again, when I'm compressing, it's like unkinking the garden hose. We're letting the blood and the oxygen rush into that area. And a lot of times when people feel that grittiness, that grinding underneath their kneecap, it's because there's no space. The knee is holding on to so much tension that it doesn't have space to move. So, we're going to come back up. And of course there's other factors that go into that, and I talk about that in some of my other programs. Water plays a key factor. Nutrition plays a key factor. Exercising and specifically strengthening the tendons and ligaments in the joint. So it's good to loosen this up. However, if you have a loose joint, it's good to loosen it up and create space. However, if the joint is loose and the tendons and ligaments aren't strong enough to support the joint, then you're going to have other issues. As well as breathing, the tension in your nervous system, how you can begin to move and repattern your nervous system to understand how to move more fluid and smooth so you don't have tension when you move. Okay, so we went side to side, down and up. We went on the diagonals. And now what we're going to do is we're going to go rotation. So I'm going to take the kneecap and rotate it clockwise and then counterclockwise. Now, no, actually that was just reversed. I mixed those up. Anyways, when I rotated it this way, it was much tighter. And of course, if it's painful, discomfort, anything like that, we don't want to go in that direction. So I want to take it the other direction, where it's easy, where it's comfortable, where it's less painful, less tight, less you want it, essentially you want it to go away. And what I'm really hoping for you is that you get your knee into a place that you go, oh my gosh, I can't believe that takes the pressure off of it. And that is what you want. And you want to hold your body or your knee in that place so it takes the pressure off of it and brings you the relief. And that's what we want to re-educate your nervous system to understand, is comfort. You already know what pain is. You live with it on a daily basis. And we're beginning to listen to what your body has to say so your body can let you know what it needs. So as I'm talking about this, I'm feeling the kneecap kind of unwind and let go. So I'm going to try that other direction, and there's more flexibility in both directions. Now, there's one more thing, and I've seen kneecaps like this, is that sometimes the kneecap is absolutely so tight, so stuck, that it doesn't want to move in any direction. And you can see my kneecap is pretty flexible. So, if your kneecap is not that flexible, then what you want to do is you want to make the movements much smaller. Just because they're smaller doesn't mean they're not working. It just means that you have a smaller, comfortable range of motion. And by focusing on comfort, by relaxing the tension in those places where it is comfortable, even if it's small, you increase that comfortable range of motion, making it bigger and making it expand. What we focus on expands. So let's focus on comfort. So there have been a couple of kneecaps that I've seen that absolutely don't move at all. So that means they're stuck. So we want to exaggerate that pattern. So if the kneecap is stuck, we'll make it stuck more. So what I'll do is, if the kneecap is not moving, I'll just put my hand on top of it and compress down and hang out in that place. And as long as it's not causing any discomfort, you're good. So you'd hold it in this position and you would wait your 30 seconds or longer, or until your nervous system gave you that indication that it was letting go. And I'm feeling a pulsing right in the palm of my right hand, which is an indication that a shift has taken place. And I'll come back out, and then I'd check to see if my kneecap was moving any differently. So that is a phenomenal exercise, a great exercise, a way of addressing what's going on right in your knee. And for the most part, this is going to take care of 80% of the knee issues that people have. So, go ahead and give that one a try. And that is definitely going to help you with what you have going on.